Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be taking a look at this right here. Yes, server merges are currently ongoing with more and more servers. We had a couple of these conversations, about a month ago, and now we're looking at new servers with the one we're focusing on here on the screen is 10 and 18, which shout out No One Shall. That's server 18. He's on the LCAR server going against server 10. Then you also have, 130 and 144, two EU servers who are currently going through the merger process. So I want to sit down and talk about that and go through a couple of the early issues that we've seen with server merges in terms of point balancing and how it's kind of playing out and how exactly it works, and then go over the events themselves, because a lot of people have been asking what this looks like. And oddly enough, you can technically, I guess, view this if you're not going through a server merge, but they never actually send the links out to this to all the other servers. I mean, you get a link to go view the score screen that you see right here, and I can provide that link in the description below if anybody wants it. But they provide this link for you to watch the score to see how your servers are competing. Personally, I think they should make this more of like a thing where they promote it and they talk about it on Facebook and Twitter and really tear down the losers and make the winners feel amazing. I think that's the proper way to do that, but they're not. So anyway, we're going to talk about that today. As you can see right now, server 10 has won the first 2 days of the event so far, with server 18 currently with a small lead here in day 3. And then you can see the trophies earned on the side increasing as it goes up. Now, whoops, didn't mean to put that in the back of the screen. As you can see, 300 on day 7 is the max trophies that you can get in day 6 and day 5. So winning early, not necessarily that big of a deal. Promoting activity on your server is what's going to give you the best chance of winning later. So let's start going into some of these other screen caps I've got. Now, I've got these from various players across the server. Shout out to Man of War, shout out to Heather. Both of those, one of those on 10, one of those on 18. A shout out to the Tal Alliance, a lot of people all over the place, because I actually know a lot of people from these two servers. It was surprising for me to see them chosen in merger. But let's start with kind of the first part, which was this is kind of an overreaching issue, just being honest with you. It's something I've actually was talking with who we call the mod father, EMH John, one of the moderators on the official Discord. The Q&A for, or the QA, Q&A, the QA quality assurance for Scopely has really been lacking lately, and you can see it in this screenshot where the event that was posted for server 18 still had the dates for the last servers that were going through this process. And if you remember, server 11 went through a merger recently and won their merger. They got the copy paste button and didn't even edit the date, so it said March 30th.
Your music's bad and you should feel bad.
Was going to be the run date. Obviously, we're past that point. We're at the end of April going into May, so about a month later. And I only put this up on the screen really to point out, hey, Scopely, you got to get your stuff together, because this not acceptable. I mean, basic stuff. QA, come on. Proofread. We still got officers who have wrong descriptions. Shout out DJ Aoki. Like, literally, just hire an intern and not pay them and make them edit it. That's all you got to do. Seriously, basic stuff. But anyway, let's talk about the events themselves and how they end up working out. Now, I did mention that the point system right now is kind of wonky, and not only myself, but people on server 18 have reached out to the devs, and that is something that is being looked at and worked on. We've got multiple responses on that. I don't know how you really work this. If the points aren't adding up correctly on the screen, then why are we still running the event? Apparently it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going. But anyway, there's been some issues with the actual score tallying system. But right now, we're assuming that it's bad on both servers, so maybe it balances out. It's kind of like the MO for the game lately. But anyway, the event needed to score points in this is called Quantum Assault. That is what this entire thing is. The universe is coming together to prove who's more active, because whoever's more active wins. That's really what it comes down to. There's nothing that you seem to be able to do if you're the smaller server that's less active to really score enough points. And you end up having multiple events. So the first one you're going to have is Quantum Prep. disassimilation, and then quantum prep armadas are two different events. You also have separatist attack, which it depends on when these are running, what events that you currently have, but we're just showing you different ones that they've shown at various points here. So like the disassimilation and the separatist attack are basically the same kind of idea. Disassimilation just involved probes, and separatists just involve separatists, and the armada points and the alliance contribution type of run that they'll run is really kind of basic. Now, the points required to score, had a level 17 on server 18 reach out to me with their points required, and it's actually kind of nuts. Like, for them to complete it, if they wanted to do that event, you're talking a ridiculous amount of resources. Now, this was the Armada's prep. Now, I'll put that one on the board. I'll actually put their on the board. If they want to contribute, they are at level 17. Obviously, they can't launch Armada, so they have to donate 130 million par steel, which is quite a bit for level 17, or 24 million tritanium, or almost 5,000 latinum to their alliance and contributions to then score. That is ridiculous. Like, that's not even feasible. I mean, I guess it is. I guess you could raid that much with envoys, but imagine raiding 130 million par steel with envoys. Like, put me in the Q costume and end my existence now. Like, please, Q, end it. But that was part of the Armada preps, is the contribution. And then the hostile killing simply being a grinded out board where you're earning these weird trident tokens. They're not called trident tokens, but they might as well be trident tokens. And that's all there is to it. It's that basic. And then the more of those trophies that you earn, the more points you earn for quantum assault, which then translate into you having more points going forward in the rest of the actual competition. The issue that I really have is there's not a way for it to truly be a competition between servers. It's more of a who has more actives.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
And the weird thing here is Scopely knows who has more actives. Like, Scopely knows who has more players doing events every day and completing their dailies every day. So what's the point of running multiple events that simply require you to be there? Why not actually do something where the smaller server has a chance to, like, stand up and go, yo, we're going to outperform the other server and earn our right to keep our number? Because what happens is when they merge the servers, the winning server becomes the host server and the losing just ceases to exist. So let's say in this one, server 10 wins. Well, if server 10 fortunate wins, server 18 Elcar ceases to exist and everybody is now a member of server 10. So there's a little bit of that bragging right and naming rights that you're fighting over. And keep in mind that there's also the progenitor avatars, which if this is all you get is a losing consolation prize, this down here, the invader versus the defender, I don't necessarily think that's, I'm not getting hype about. Are you getting hype about that? I don't feel like you're getting hype about that. So these events stay pretty basic, don't really provide any ability to truly grind and represent your server. It's more of a just, hey, who's around, who can finish these events. So there's going to be a weird beep that you just heard. That weird beep was me cutting out an important segment of this video that I didn't want certain people to hear. So hit the captain's quarters in my Discord if you want to know what I'm talking about. But with this Armada run, if you could contribute through doing damage and dealing damage to your armadas, that's great. Once again, I would have loved to have seen this be an event where you could actually overcome the numbers. And I think that a little bit more thought could be putting into this for future use, because my ultimate goal when it comes to this type of leaderboard stuff is for them to create this into a system that we can actually have server versus server competitions that aren't just about activity, but actually achieving certain goals and scoring points and then being able to overcome just pure numbers. Because I want an event that allows me with 60 people to score the same amount of 100 people based on the amount I'm doing. So like a cumulative rollover in terms of grinding hostiles. Like, I mean, if I'm getting 10 points per hostile kill and I can just have people spend 12 hours a day versus their 8 hours a day and I overcome their numbers. That's something that I would like to see this evolve more into. Because ultimately, I think the game needs more competition and healthy competition that doesn't push in server competition. Things like territory capture and all this thing, or all the things that we've gotten used to fighting each other for 2.5 years. It'd be nice if we had some people to fight that weren't the same people we've been staring at. It also would be great if we were fighting those people across, we couldn't actually see them. We couldn't actually talk to them. That way there wouldn't be that same level of drama and trash talk. It would just be us hyping up ourselves, and then maybe a little trash talk here and there on the Deuce Discord, because I seem to have people from every server in existence. But anyway, this is how the basics of these events work, and now you know. And if your server is getting rolled out with one of these, just let us know. About right now we've had a once a month thing the past 2 months where they've rolled out these events. They last a week, and then winner, loser gets, I guess, a consolation prize of avatars. What do you freaking do? But that's how it works. And we'll see if next month in May we have even more server merges. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. Do this. Just live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. We'll catch you in the next one. We're almost at 25,000. We'll have to do something special. Ideas for specialness. Comments. What would you like to see something special for 25K? Drop it down. An even better outro than the intro. Yeah!